Good morning. I'm going to be talking again about secret organizations. I didn't get to finish the other day. So today I'm going to be talking about PEO, which stands for Philanthropic Educational Organization. And the PEO is a U.S.-based international women's organization of about 230,000 members, with the primary focus on providing educational opportunities for female students worldwide. The sisterhood is headquartered in Des Moines, Iowa, with chapters throughout the United States and Canada. Of all the fraternal secret societies, PEO is without a doubt the most secretive. The order has even kept the meaning of the letters PEO secret. However, it is believed that they stand for Protect Each Other. They are opened with prayer and with inspirational readings chosen by members. But PEO meetings and activities do not require any particular religion or religious practice except for a belief in God. There is an unusual degree of secrecy regarding the PEO, their name, and rituals. The PEO Sisterhood is considered a woman's secret society with its main purpose as social and educational. And again, it was founded in 1869 in Iowa. Okay, and that's pretty much all that I kind of found about that. And the next one is the Eastern Star. I had heard of that, but I didn't really know what it was. And I had never heard of the PEO, so that was something new for me to study. The Eastern Star, what I found on this is the Order of the Eastern Star is a Masonic appendant body open to both men and women. It was established in 1850 by lawyer and educator Rob Morris, a noted Freemason, and adopted and approved as an appendant body of the Masonic fraternity in 1873. The members of the Order of the Eastern Star are dedicated women and men who sincerely reflect the spirit of fraternal love and the desire to work together for good. Now, this is what they quoted on their website. It gives them the opportunity to give a part of their time to many projects that benefit mankind. Our lessons are scriptural, our purposes are beneficent, and our teachings are moral. Okay, and also what I found on their website, it states, the Order of the Eastern Star sprouted from Masonry. The members are required to be connected with the Masons, though it does not technically boast direct affiliation. So, a practitioner must be, these qualifications to be accepted is, be of good moral character, believe in a supreme being, it doesn't matter which one, I suppose, because they're using supreme being, have attained the age of 18, believe in the laws of the United States of America, be willing to assume the obligation of the order, be able to participate with assistance if needed in the ceremony of initiation, be free from disqualifying mental illness, be a resident of the state for 6 months with some exceptions, and be free of felony conviction or judgment as a habitual criminal under any state or national laws. The prayers are offered to the Supreme Being rather than to God, the only true God. So again, we're not sure who they're praying to or what spirits could be attached to this group. This brings up an interesting question again. What God exactly are the prayers being directed to? Since all the religions are welcome, is this God of Christianity, or is it of Islam or Hindu or Buddhist, or what God is it? When a man becomes a Mason, he is asked to place his hand upon the holy book he considers binding. So he has his choice, whether it's the Bible or the Quran or whatever book other religions may have, the Book of Mormon, I guess. So copies are kept of the Bible, and I know I'm not going to mess this one up. Bhagavad Gita. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm sure it's a book for some religion. The Old Testament, the Zend Avesta, the Sutras, and the Quran. Writings by Dr. Robert Morris, founder of the Order of the Eastern Star, indicate that he considered the gods of all religions the same God under different names. The Order of the Eastern Star is exclusive. A member must be a female relative of a Master Mason or be a Master Mason. Rules are laid out at length as to what degrees of relation to a Mason qualify. Though it is in nature of many clubs and jobs to be exclusive, one as deeply tied to religion with its prayers and rituals as the order, setting up so many gates and boundaries, poorly reflects the reality of the gospel and love of Christ. The Eastern Star imagery is also associated with Satanism and the occult. So if you look at the symbol of the order, it is an upside-down 5-pointed star, or a pentagram, which is associated with Satanism. And it's also the symbol of the Church of Satan and a well-known symbol of the occult. Though no claim is being made here that the order is an occult, the parallels have raised alarm for many. The Order of the Eastern Star requires secrecy. The order strongly maintains in their facts, answers, and questions that they are not a secret society. However, details of the order prove hard to research and often contradict, especially about certain elements that are considered secret, including the meaning of the letters Fatal, which spell fatal, in the order's symbol. The order's website states, this is their quote, "These signs and so-called mysteries of the order were communicated freely to all Master Masons and their relatives." But however, the fact that the knowledge was communicated to fully instated Master Masons does not mean these things are public knowledge. On the contrary, the fact that they were communicated only to members by definition makes them secret, because there's secrecy in the Masons. Order rituals and reverence are dedicated to 5 historical women, and these women include, let's see if I can find it, Ada, the supposed name of the daughter of Zephaniah, and then Ruth, Esther, Martha, and Electa, the supposed name of the mother of James and John. So they took these names from the Bible, and the names of these 5 women are invoked in tandem with the lighting of candles in the affiliation ceremony, where members were inducted into the order. Though the order is carefully not identified as Christian, but rather open to all believers in a supreme being, these biblical women form its core. However, instead of this giving preference to the Christian God, the reverence and symbolism afforded these women takes the focus away from reverence for God. They're focusing mainly on the women. Concerningly, elements like the associated colors, patron virtues, and seasons, and special symbols are signs usually associated with pagan gods and goddesses. So there's a lot of symbolism that they use, just like the Masonic Lodge. Though members of the order certainly don't consider these women goddesses, the ritual and imagery are rather, if unintentionally, similar to Greek or Roman worship. Now, if we look in 1 John chapter 4, 1-3, it states, "Dearly beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, and whether they are of God, for many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby shall ye know the Spirit of God. Every spirit which confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. But this is the spirit of Antichrist, of whom ye have heard, how that he should come, and now already he is in the world." So we must also be sure that we are not faced with anything that distorts from the truth. So anything that states that you need to believe in a supreme being, to me, that's taking away from God. They're not stating that Jesus is the Lord. So it is not the true religion. So we need to be definitely careful of that. So, and then I'm going to, the next one that I'm going to talk about is college fraternities and sororities, because a lot of people don't think of these. But the first fraternity was developed in 1776 and was patterned after the Masonic organization. Secret society want members to use their third eye instead of their 2 eyes. They have symbolism, which is based on Greek gods and goddesses, and their pagan symbols are used. And again, if we look in Colossians chapter 3, verse 5, in the Bible, it says, "Mortify therefore your members which are on the earth, fornication, uncleanness, and inordinate affection, evil concupiscence and covetousness, which is idolatry. So I know a lot of us know of sororities or fraternities, and we know that they do a lot of things that are not Christian-like, that are not good. They tend to do hazing, that's what it's called, hazing, and that's part of the initiation, and there's usually a lot of sexual acts within their parties, drinking. I've been to fraternity parties. I was never a part of it, but I've been to their parties, so many, many years ago. So I do know that there's a lot of stuff that is involved in that. And so you need to be careful. If you have kids that are going off to college, you need to make sure that they understand that these organizations are against what God is for. And they have lots of secrets and symbolism that spirits can be attached to. Now, the next one might surprise everybody that I'm going to talk about. It's going to be the Boy Scouts, especially the Eagles. The Order of the Arrow is an organization within the Boy Scouts, and it's a secret society. They need to go through an ordeal or an experience, and if the boy passes, he becomes a member. They dress up as Native Americans and have a fire, which I don't know why they choose to dress up as Native Americans and have the fire. They even have somebody drum, like the powwow drum that you see in the powwows, and dance. And I watched some of the videos of their ceremonies, and they actually have taken the dances from, and I am Native American, and they've taken the dances from the Native American, and they're actually dancing those dances. And so I don't understand why they took that culture to blend with this society, because this is not based on Native American. So to me, it's kind of an insult. I don't know how anybody else feels about it. But during their initiation, the leaders are the ones that dress up as Native Americans, but those that are being initiated into it, they can't, for the first day, they can't talk, eat, and they can only have a little bit of water while they camp out in the woods without a tent. And the first day, they also work hard labor all day without the food. The second night, they are blindfolded and taken on a long walk to the big fire and given a password, and then they join the organization, and then they're given a feast if they pass. The next level of this is Brotherhood, which is also based on Freemasonry. So you can already assume that there's going to be secrets. So we can turn to Deuteronomy chapter 6, 13 through 15, and it states, "Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not walk after other gods, after any of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the wrath of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from the face of the earth." So they're already making these kids take a vow to secrecy and other vows, and so that's already swearing by somebody else's name, because I don't believe that they're using God's name. So, and I don't know what other secret stuff may be going on in these ceremonies, so that's another thing you need to be careful if you have children about letting them join the Boy Scouts, because of the things that they can also be involved in with that. And then let's see what I haven't talked. I don't think I've talked about Freemasonry. I mean, I've mentioned it in some of these other groups. Let me talk about Freemasonry now. Everybody's heard of them pretty much. So when one makes a covenant with an unbeliever, they also make a covenant to their God. So that's for any secret organization. So when we make a covenant with anybody that's not a follower of Christ, we're making a covenant with their God also. And witchcraft spirit is involved in that. Okay, they must speak in Freemasonry and some of these other secret societies. They must speak an oath of death over their life, and I definitely know in Freemasonry they have to do that. And they make a curse to have their throat cut if they reveal secrets of the lodge. There's physical rituals, covenant, curses himself if he doesn't follow the covenant or keep the secrets. He may even make curses that his family be killed. Some lodges have sexual perversions. They must deny Christ, but believe in a supreme being. But atheists are not allowed. They have to believe in a supreme being. It doesn't say who, but it has to be a supreme being. And secrecy is a very big deal. during their initiation, they're also blindfolded, and which represents they're in the dark and not in the light. And just remember that Jesus had no secrets. And there's a lot more to Freemasonry, but I don't have time to really study and go into that. I just wanted to do the basics of things that should be raising red flags to you. So 1 Samuel chapter 15, 22 to 23 says, And Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great pleasure in burnt offerings and sacrifices as when the voice of the Lord is obeyed? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and transgression is wickedness and idolatry. Because thou hast cast away the word of the Lord, therefore he hath cast away thee from being king. Now, during this time that they're talking about, Samuel went and sought out, Saul went to seek out Samuel, and Samuel had already passed. So Saul went and saw a witch and asked her to bring the spirit of Samuel back because he wanted to consult him about something in the future. And so because he did that, he was cursed to be killed, and he was killed by the sword. So God takes us very serious about dabbling in witchcraft and the occult and with idolatry. So we really need to be careful. And I didn't go into the Shriners Club, but that's also another one that you need to be careful and really kind of search out because they are a secret society as well. Anything that has secret oaths that tell you that you cannot discuss it outside, like the Mormon temple, I believe whenever they go into the temple, they have special underwear to put on. They have secret oaths or secret things that they're not supposed to discuss. That's another red flag. So anytime any ceremony is secret, that is definitely a big red flag, and you need to walk away from it or even run from it, because in the Bible it never says keep this a secret and don't tell anybody. We are told to let everybody know who Jesus is and how to get to heaven. That is what we're commanded to do. We're trying to build the kingdom of God. We're not trying to keep it a secret and only a select few come in. So I hope this answers some questions, and just know that if you do dabble in any of these secret societies, that there are spirits that are attached to things that are not of God. And so you need to be aware that you could be bringing this into your family and into your life. So if you have any questions about more, start looking into it. You can ask me. I'd have to do more research because I don't know everything about these. These were just the bare minimums that I was telling. I wanted just to raise your awareness about, because some of these groups I'd never heard of, and I'm sure that a lot of you have not heard of them either, but now we have kind of an idea of what they're about. So if there's any type of other group out there that somebody's trying to get you to join, look into their bylaws and their mission, and if they have any secret oaths, things like that, and if they're of God, if anything contradicts the Bible. Because if anything contradicts God's word, we should stay away from it. We really should. So I hope this answers your questions and opens eyes. And I just hope that you're blessed from this. And I'm not sure what topic we'll be talking about next, but it'll be soon. Thank you, and be blessed.